Hey, how everybody is doing? You know, with this, what we had earlier with that solar eclipse, and it's like everything, the mood, not just the mood, but it's like we living in a time of revelation. I actually brought my shades just to look at the solar eclipse that we had, and those shades weren't good enough. I think because I just found out that you have to use a particular type of shades. I didn't even try to attempt to use the regular sunshade. I'm like, no. But I'm glad that I could. I'm glad to see other people, enjoying the solar eclipse that we had, because the next one gonna be a long time before you get a chance to see it, and I think that's what make it more monumental. It's happened like once every several years, if not several years, to many years, because the last solar eclipse we had was back in 2017. And if I'm not mistaken, I think during that time I went to sleep throughout the whole thing, and I was at home at the time. And like they say, with the year of the eclipse, usually it leads to revelation. And when it comes to like revelation of certain things, it time for a change. Because I think the last eclipse we had, the vibe and the mood of different people just change. And I see a lot of changes that happen with this eclipse we had, because I noticed that even with myself, that day that solar eclipse happened, I come up with a change for the better, which leads me to this topic of correcting yourself when it comes to changes. I know that I have plenty of things to work on to correct myself. In fact, I even made a list, and that's like during the time the solar eclipse happened. I This draws me to make a video about that. And when I say correct yourself, look into yourself, find out why certain things isn't going in your favor. It could be maybe you get turned down a lot from job interviews. You probably feel like you're a reject when it comes to like maybe social gatherings, or you might get rejected from a date, or any kind of rejection, or something isn't working with you. It's certain things that you can't cope with. So I think that starting with correcting yourself is very beneficial. It's never too late for you to fix yourself. Some people say, I can't correct myself because that's who I am. I'm being myself, which in a way, you are yourself. There's no one else you can be but yourself. But being a better version of yourself is what you need to aim at. And it took a good friend of mine, to tell me something like that. Being a better version of yourself, and while you're being yourself, there's a difference between being yourself and being inappropriate. And there's a time and place for things. Being more reserved. And she make a whole lot of sense. It could be involved in learning, I guess, certain skills, or learning how to eat properly at a dinner table. You can always learn. In fact, the average pe- the average person that learns something the average person that learns something new comes from correcting, accepting criticism. And when somebody telling you say certain things to you that might trigger you and might annoy you. You don't want to listen to it. I think it might be a good idea to listen to it, and you find somebody else telling you the exact same thing that the previous person told you about yourself. That's when I think it's time for a change. You got to reflect. You got to think, what is it that I'm doing wrong? Why is it they're saying the same kind of thing? What kind of habits that I picked up? And when you ask yourself that question, just kind of relay it to, I guess, to a friend or a close family member, and somebody who could somebody who could basically be honest with you about yourself. And then when you find out about it, you got to acknowledge it, then find solutions to work on that. Of course, nobody is perfect. We all have flaws, but being the best version of yourself is what you need to be. Don't be afraid to take for you. Don't be afraid to receive criticism. Take it, chalk it up. It might sound hurtful when somebody mention your flaws, especially flaws that you're insecure about. Come up with solutions to fix it where it won't be as bad. The change starts with you. You are the change. You got to have the right kind of mind set on having a certain type of changing. You got to have the right behavior. You got to have the right mannerism. Anything that is that you need to change, it starts with you. You are the change. Nobody is. You got people that can be the most they'll do for you is maybe tell you about yourself, but it's not really up to nobody to change you. It's all on you and your attitude. Attitude equals the best results when it comes to change. In order for you to have a change, you got to have a good attitude and you got to have determination. You got to take on the initiative and say to yourself, I don't like this part of myself. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go and I'm fix myself up. I'm going to go and make more friends since I may not have many friends as I would like, or I don't really have any. I'm going to go out and meet and make friends and don't be shy. I'm going to observe my surroundings and find out how people are and try to get advices from them on how to, I guess, do certain things. Get out and learn. Don't be afraid to change. The change is within you.